I'm a small business owner. I owned a business with a partner, and it was a small business. We were successful at what we did, but we were a small business. We had a handful of employees, and we ran it like a family environment. These people were my friends. Worked with them for years, and it was everything. Our blood, sweat, and tears to start this thing from scratch and make it work. We lost almost everything to check fraud, including threats on my life. And it all started with one easily forged check that was stolen by somebody in the building that we think was an employee, of all things. What had happened is our cash flow was tight. We were watching our cash flow very closely. We were asking our bank for a daily fax of our account activity. This was before online banking existed and email. And we're watching for large deposits because, again, we had some bills we wanted to pay, but we didn't want to pay them prematurely and get in trouble. But cash flow was critical to basically having our business thrive, right? So we're just really paying attention. One day we received a fax with a huge amount on it that just shocked the heck out of us. It was a check for $13,000, which is not the normal size checks that we were writing, and that was a huge red flag. We tracked down the check. That we actually had the bank send it to us, and the thing is, it looked like a real check. Somebody had taken it, scanned it through a computer, put it on paper, and the signature did not look right, but everything else about the check, the bank account information, everything was our check. And I got to tell you, that really made me feel violated. So much for safety and security, and really ticked me off. One day we got a fax, had a check for $7,000 we didn't write. Another day we got a check $40,000 that we also didn't write. And about a 7-day period, all total came out to roughly about $80,000 in forged checks. One day we got a call from another bank who had gotten a check passed to them, and the bank was unwilling to detain the kid who had the check until the police could arrive. And I said, hey, tell me where they are. I'll come get them myself. And they're like, no, we won't tell you. We'll call the police. We'll try to detain them. But again, that really hacked me off because it's my money. It's my check. I want to catch the thief, and I want to prosecute him. Finally, with a little bit of luck, the cops were called. They did show up. They did catch the kid. The guy was an underage high school kid, not the actual forger. He had actually been recruited by an adult at a party to pass the check on for them, and they would give him a little finder's fee. And the adult dropped him off at the bank. I had sent him in to do the dirty deed, and would sit out in the car, but as soon as the cop showed up, the adult took off and left the kid stranded. This was linked to a check cashing ring. The investigators were very familiar with the scheme. They'd seen it lots of times before, but they weren't able to prosecute. And part of the reason was the people who had testified against this gang had been killed or threatened with losing their life, that they had backed down. But I decided to go ahead anyways because I wanted to do the right thing. And I received a permit to carry a concealed weapon in the state that I was in, which did not give out permits, so somehow the cops got that arranged. And I actually had 3 attempts on my life. And at the end, the case was dropped, and the crooks got off clean. It turns out the whole nightmare started because our checks were unlocked and they were easy to forge. Our bookkeeper had kept a stack of shrink-wrapped checks stored in an unlocked cabinet, and also did not lock her office at night. Someone on the staff or the cleaning crew, but we really think it was somebody on staff, cut a small slit in the shrink wrap, took one check out of the middle, and then turned the shrink wrap around in the cabinet so we would never notice it when we opened up the cabinet and looked in. Someone took that check, scanned it into their computer, and printed it out on generic check paper that they had bought at a stationery store. So there's nothing illegal about the paper, that you can buy it anywhere. They just took our check, which was stolen illegally, and just started printing out checks that had our account information and everything was correct, and just writing checks like they felt like it. So, some of my lessons learned. What have I learned from that? I store checks in a secured, locked location, and only I have the key. The other thing is, I make sure that I use checks that have been designed specifically to be secure and fraud resistant.